I have to admit, I was really surprised with 2010's Darksiders. It was nothing new, but I just loved playing it, and the story really kept me involved, so you can imagine how ecstatic I was when I heard they were doing a sequel. Darksiders 2. Is it as enjoyable as the first one and actually adds something new to the franchise, or does it just fall flat? In Darksiders 2, you take on the Horseman Death. The events actually coincide with the first game, as Death tries to prove War's innocence and restore mankind.
My secrets cannot prove his innocence, Horseman.
No, but they can help me to erase the crime.
Bring mankind back from extinction. Madness.
If Darksiders 2 seems like a bigger game than the first, it's because it is. It has over 20 hours of gameplay, and the landscape and dungeons you encounter are just massive. The dungeons though can get a little too large, and navigating through them can be a bit difficult. The combat system is the same. Death hacks and slashes his way through the netherworlds, much like War did on Earth. The combat can be insane. I read some review where the author stated he was confused on who his character was and who the enemies were in the battle. Do you know who your character is? You play as Death, the Grim Reaper. His appearance really doesn't scream good guy. They do kind of look the same, but I have found no issues with this. In addition to Death's weapon of choice, you also have a variety of secondary weapons to choose from. Puzzle solving is a big part in Darksiders 2, as it was in the first Darksiders. Some are easy to figure out, some take some thought. Good thing is though, that no puzzles are so frustrating that you want to throw your damn controller through the fucking TV. Just like in Darksiders 1, wall climbing plays a big aspect, except Death seems a bit of a natural with these parkour skills than War did. He really should consider being a contestant on the next American Ninja Warrior, if this whole horseman thing doesn't pan out. There are times though that you can't really tell where to jump next, and you're left guessing. This has led to Death's demise a few times by my hands. Any differences between the two games, you ask? Well, there's a pretty good one. Darksiders 2 is heavy on the loot, something Darksiders 1 did not have. Either enemies drop the items or you find them in chests. Death is always collecting loot. Do you have too many items, you ask? You can always sell them for gold or even sacrifice them to upgrade certain weapons. That's right, you can sacrifice items to upgrade a badass weapon. There's actually more annoyances than flaws in this game. You have a crow named Dust that acts as a guide. However, there are times you tell Dust to show you the way, and he'll just perch his douchebag self in the middle of two hallways. What a waste! Couldn't he at least motion to a hallway? Dick. And there are times that the camera angle can get away from you, and you either lose sight of Death or the enemies, but it's only for a little bit. Whenever you start the game up and continue from previous play, you get a summary of what has happened so far. I know what has happened. I was there! The artwork though is beautiful, so why couldn't they just show the artwork and have no sound for the load screen is beyond me. And I know this really shouldn't matter, but is it me, or does this character sound like a certain green ogre?
I don't know, I'm just a pup.
Great. Mike Myers is helping my case now. If they're going to copy a Mike Myers voice, couldn't they at least use Wayne from Wayne's World?
Yeah, and monkeys might fly out of my butt.
I can never win. Darksiders 2 does have a good replay value. There are enough collectibles and side quests to keep you coming back for more. I can go on for another 20 minutes or so, but due to my limited time schedule, I can't. But in my opinion, Darksiders 2 meets and surpasses any expectation that was set with the original Darksiders game. Despite the few annoyances, Darksiders 2 is a fantastic, enjoyable game that should be on everybody's must-play list. I give it a 4 horsemen out of 5. Next up, a look back at a game released a few months ago that featured a high school cheerleader and her best friend, a chainsaw.